Pinduoduo, JD.com, and others are causing serious panic and turmoil over at Alibaba as a fight for the consumer heats up with the e-commerce giants in China. In parts 1 through 4 of the Investor Day, I discussed how Alibaba is looking to become even more competitive on their flagship e-commerce stores, TaoBao and Tmall. But if you just focused on TaoBao and Tmall, you really don't understand the Chinese e-commerce space. There are emerging online retail spaces such as business to consumer and consumer to manufacturer that we need to consider. And let's be very honest, guys, this is exactly where Alibaba has been struggling, and in some cases being absolutely spanked by the likes of emerging new competitors like Pinduoduo. So how exactly has Alibaba been reacting to this competition? This here is the critical video. If they don't deliver here, just sell your stocks and take the L. And you never thought that I'd be saying that. So smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's dig into it. You're watching More Money, let's get it. So I got some good news for you, and I got some bad news for you, but I'll start with the good news. Back when I did my Alibaba 6-part series, I actually showed you this chart. And basically what I'm showing you in here is that China is still a growth story. There's a huge population of people emerging into the middle class. And what I really want you to focus on is this lower tier here, where in 2015, 37% of the population in China earned under 13,000 RMB per year. And look how small that's expected to become in 2030, where it's going from 37% of the population to 11% of the population. So essentially what's happening is you're having this huge emergence of the middle class. And that's really what I've been saying is the growth story for China and China e-commerce. And I want you to remember that 13,000 RMB per year number as we move into the next slide, because here you can see that even Alibaba is calling this out very directly in this slide. They're saying that there is a huge potential of less developed areas in China. And really, if you look at this first section here, they're saying that they have a large target consumer base of 600 million internet users with monthly income between 1,000 and 8,000 RMB in 2020. And if you remember, I just said that that low income group is accelerating in terms of how much income that they're going to have. So Alibaba is really even understating what the real opportunity is here, because they're not saying in this presentation how much more wealth that this income group is expected to have over the next 10 years. And so basically the good news story and the thing that Alibaba has not mentioned on this slide is that those 600 million people are about to get a lot wealthier. And you can see that they're kind of hinting at that because they're saying that there's been a rapid penetration of e-commerce in the rural area, where GMV has grown 5 times from 2015 to 2020. And like I said, if your income is growing from an average of 1 to 8,000 RMB to more than 13,000 RMB within the next 10 years, what do you think that's going to do to the GMV for the rural customers? And now for the bad news, guys. This huge success has largely been getting captured by other e-commerce players. And the big one that I want to bring up to your attention is Pinduoduo. Pinduoduo is an e-commerce platform that allows users to participate in group buying deals referred to as a team purchase model. And basically the way it works is that users can invite their contacts to form a shopping team to get a lower price for their purchase. And it's kind of crazy what they're able to do, because customers can get huge discounts. If you can get enough people together, you can get discounts up to 90% of the product. And so with a business model like this, Pinduoduo actually has the ability to acquire customers at a very, very low cost, which is why they've been growing at an insanely fast rate, and why most investors in China are most excited about Pinduoduo. And even the way that Pinduoduo is laid out, it's more similar to like a news feed, which gives more exposure to a single product that is a deal opportunity right now. Whereas TaoBao really focuses on listing more products and giving customers a selection, Pinduoduo puts its forces on fewer bestsellers that attract more buyers. So I think that the closest way you can think of this one is like a Groupon, but the more people that join the Groupon, the cheaper the product gets. And honestly, who wouldn't want 90% off toilet paper? Okay, so now that we've laid out the most impressive of the major competitors, what is Alibaba gonna do about it? And so a similar strategy to what we saw in video number 3 of this Alibaba Investor Day series, they're really looking to create a super app environment here. And the way that they've done it here is they've actually created a multi-app ecosystem. So they have TaoBao deals, and they have TaoCaiCai. And so the point here and what they're aiming to do is they're looking to connect the manufacturer with the consumer. So this becomes a higher efficiency, lower cost, and better service customer strategy. Whereas if you look at what the traditional chart looked like, you can see that there's a lot more touch points that increases the cost to the customer. Now, I know for some of you, you may not necessarily be super familiar with these two apps. I mean, we're all familiar with TaoBao and Tmall, but we may not necessarily be familiar with these other apps. So let me just describe them quickly to you. TaoBao Deals has a direct manufacturer to customer model. And essentially what they do is they work with all of the factories on domestic's business-to-business platform and reach out to customers that way. TaoCaiCai is more of your competitor to Pinduoduo, where it's a community marketplace that was actually formed this year to compete against Pinduoduo, and it offers a next day self-pickup service for fresh groceries for consumers in the rural areas. And the beauty of it is Alibaba is leveraging their strength here by partnering with its farm suppliers, which includes their company-owned grocery chain Sun Art, to source fresh and high quality produce. Because really, if you guys think about it, the secret to Pinduoduo's success is that they allowed rural customers to acquire groceries at a cheaper rate. So that's the game here, and that's how you got to fight Pinduoduo. So is it too late for Alibaba, or are these two apps winning market share? Well, from here you can see that TaoBao Deals and TaoCaiCai have tripled their user growth in the last year. Their order growth has increased 400% year over year, and their customer stickiness has increased as well. So it's very clear that Alibaba is onto something that works, and they need to double down on this in 2022 or their fiscal 2023 if they want to succeed and continue to win in the Chinese e-commerce environment. Okay, so now that we've seen that they are finding success here, let's dig deeper into TaoBao Deals in this video, and in the next video, we'll dig deeper into TaoCaiCai. With TaoBao Deals, the reason why Alibaba has been succeeding so well is because they're leveraging their two strengths, which is their size and their ecosystem. Let me show you. So you can see here that Alibaba is holding no punches. The goal for them to succeed with TaoBao Deals is by utilizing their three core capabilities, which is their product supply chain, which is their entrenched relationships and ownership of the supply chain, their incredible fulfillment and delivery network, and of course their experience and ability to acquire customers and service them at the highest level. So let's dig into these a little bit more and see what Alibaba has to say. So when it comes to the product supply chain, it really comes down to a value for money play here, because Alibaba already has this unbranded supplier network of 6,000 participating factories, which gives them 1.7 thousand subcategories of products. And so what that allows them to do is all the branding, design, manufacturing, retail operations, marketing, and after-sales service costs is cut out. So the retail price is at an extremely competitive level. Look, you're dealing with insanely price-conscious customers in the rural environments. You need to compete on price and service here, and that's the way that Alibaba is doing it. And now here's a weakness of Pinduoduo. One of the problems that Pinduoduo has had is that they can offer this wonderful price, but getting the product to customers on time has been a challenge for them. And so you'll notice in all of their press releases, everything that they're issuing, they're telling you that they're increasing their logistics capabilities. Well, who's the powerhouse of the logistics business in China? Well, obviously JD.com, but also Alibaba. And that's what they show you here, because it's okay to get a good price for something, but if you gotta wait a month for it, I am personally, as a customer, more willing to pay a couple more dollars on Amazon to get something next day delivered than wait a week for it. So I'm assuming that customers behave the same way in China. And that's why Alibaba is really focusing on their second key strength here, which is their logistics network. So that's what they show us here, where they're saying that they have a streamlined distribution model where there's no unnecessary intermediaries. And the way that they're able to do this is they have a nationwide warehouse network, which allows them to be super efficient and reduce their fulfillment costs. And they operate around the clock with 24-hour collection and one-stop customer service. Now, there's definitely more to this than they're showing right now. I think they're keeping it high level, but they have their China logistics network, so I really want to know how that's operating and how they're investing into it. But I think that's information that they're saving for their China logistics presentation, which we'll see later on. And that's sort of like the beauty of Alibaba, where all of these businesses, once again, they just kind of layer on top of each other. Because if you go back to the first video of this Investor Day video series, what Alibaba really told you is that the way they're segmenting their customers is they're showing that there's a 45 plus highly price conscious customer out there that they're looking to target. It seems like these two new ventures, TaoBao Deals and TaoCaiCai, they really address that niche because the 45 plus, because they're price conscious, they're going to be more attracted to this, where you can get your staples and food for much cheaper than what you're currently getting it at. So if you want to attract that customer, this is how you do it. So you can see how that customer segmentation that we discussed in the first video has driven Alibaba to create these new brands to address that growing market opportunity, which is that 45 plus, which, like they mentioned previously, relates to that 600 million of rural customers that are starting to use e-commerce. So it all just kind of blends together, and you'll see as we go through these Investor Day presentations, more and more is just going to start blending together because they really try to create this virtuous ecosystem where everything helps everything else. Now, of course, is it working for TaoBao Deals? Absolutely it is, because in this slide they show you that TaoBao Deals has now reached 240 million annual active customers. Their year-over-year order growth rate is 290%, and they've had 1.1 billion manufacturer to customer orders direct from factory products. And they've had 180 million orders of agricultural products. So they're really jumping onto the turf of Pinduoduo and competing effectively here. So will they be effective? I gotta give them a little bit of credit, but once again, this is a wait and see story. Let's see how it plays out. In the next video, I'll be diving deeper into TaoCaiCai, Alibaba's answer to Pinduoduo, and what they're doing to stay ahead of the curve as they upgrade their commerce infrastructure. When that video becomes available, you can get it right here. Until then, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and take a look at the previous videos in this Investor Day video series, which you can get to right here.